Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Unless you're new, then hi, welcome to my channel. Today we are doing my film tier list of every single movie I watched in 2021. I've done my TV show version last week, so make sure you check that out on my channel. But this week we are doing all the films I've watched. There's not as many films as there was TV shows, that's because I personally love TV shows more so than films. There's still a lot of films here. So let's get on with it so we can get through all of these. Of course, no spoilers or anything like that. I just talk through what was good, what was not, to let you know whether you should try and watch it or whether it's not really worth it. Also, I stream 5 times a week on Twitch. If you want to follow me over there, please do, because we have some lovely chats, we chill together, we play some games. It's a good time over there. So here is my tier list here. So we have the best of the best, which obviously is going to be the best films that I watched this year. We then have great films, so these are ones that are still really, really good, just not quite my favorite. Perfect background viewing are for the ones that were all right, they were fine, but they're kind of not thinking much, just putting it on in the background kind of film. We've also got not my type but still good. Because I try and go into all different types of genres, I do watch things that aren't necessarily my cup of tea but are very good. So I have that there just in case that there is something. It was fine, which is just something that was fine. I don't really have much to say about it. It was just, I watched it. Then the last one is It's a No from me. So those are the films that are just no. They're just no. So without further ado, we're gonna get straight on into it. So the first thing I have here is 8th grade, which, this was a weird one. I'm gonna put it in not my type but still good, because this really wasn't my cup of tea whatsoever. However, this was a very, very good film. It's about following this girl in 8th grade. You do watch it and feel like the secondhand embarrassment of being that age, the young teenager just hitting puberty kind of thing. So I finally finished catching up on all the Avenger films at last. So simply so I could watch the new Spider-Man, not gonna lie. The Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. These were very good. I really enjoyed these. Yeah, I'm gonna put them both in great films. They're definitely not my favorite films, but I really, really enjoyed them. So they're definitely going in there, because if you watched my one from last year, my film reviews, there was a lot of the Marvel series that I wasn't a big fan of. It's not my cup of tea. Usually I'm not a superhero type of person. Maybe I'm becoming a bit of a Marvel fan. Didn't have that written on my cards, not gonna lie. We then have Birds of Paradise. This is gonna go and it's a no from me, because I watched it in 2 hits. Like I watched one half of it one day, and then like a week later I watched the other half. There wasn't really much to it, not gonna lie. We have Candyman, which is the new Candyman film that came out this year. I'm putting that in great films. I thought it was really, really good. I personally really, really enjoyed it. I know it was a bit of a controversial one. Some people really loved it, some people didn't, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, so it's going in great films. We then have Cinderella. That is also gonna go in it's a no from me. I mean, it's not my type of thing anyway, but I will watch a musical from time to time and I will enjoy them from time to time. This was not one of them. They made Cinderella into a girl boss, and James Corden was in it, and I think that's all you need to know. We then have Cruella. Where should I put this? Because I enjoyed this. I might put it in perfect background viewing, because I didn't put all my energy into watching this, but I really did enjoy it. You know, it's just a Disney live action remake. I like it. It was one of the best ones, not gonna lie. We then have Don't Look Up. Ooh, where am I gonna put this? I might put this in It Was Fine. This is a recent one that's just come out, and not gonna lie, if you wanna have your anxiety peak, this is the film to watch. This made my anxiety, like, I have such bad existential crisis anxiety, and this film did not help me whatsoever. I liked the story of it, but there was just something something missing in my opinion. We then have The Duff, which is a film I've watched many, many times, but this is definitely a perfect background viewing. It's a romantic comedy. But also, along with that, The Edge of 17, which is also going to go into perfect background viewing. I've watched this a few times as well, and I just really enjoy it. We then have 3 Spider-Man films that I've watched this year. So first of all, we have Homecoming. Is it Homecoming? Yes. Spider-Man Homecoming. I did really enjoy this. I'm going to put it in a great film. Also, Far From Home. I really enjoyed this. But No Way Home is going at the top. I loved this. It was also the first time I've seen a Marvel film in the cinema. That sounds absolutely ridiculous, doesn't it? This is the first time I've seen a Marvel film in the cinema to get like the full impact. And it was so good. I personally love Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man and Thor are my favourites. We then have the Fear Street trilogy. I was so pleasantly surprised with. This was 3 films done by Netflix, like horror films, and I really enjoyed them. I'm going to put them in great films. We then have Free Guy. It's not my type, but still good, or perfect background viewing. I'm going to put it there because it was actually really quite good. I really enjoyed it. I didn't expect to enjoy it, but it's really not my type of film that I'd usually go for. But we wanted to go to the cinema, so we just watched it. And I was pleasantly surprised with it. It's Ryan Reynolds and Jodie Comer, and it was actually really, really good. We then have a different one here. We've got Halsey's album film, and it might be a bit biased because I'm a huge Halsey fan, but I really, really enjoyed it. Oh my gosh, Hustlers. I watched this at the very, very start of the year, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to put it in, it was fine. We have Inside, which is from Bo Burnham, which I'm sure you all know of. Somehow he creeped on in to my Spotify top 5 artists this year. Oh my god. I'm going to put it in perfect background viewing because it's not so much the film that makes it, but it's more the music, and I've listened to the music multiple times. I've only watched it once. We then have John Tucker Must Die. This is going to be, again, a perfect background viewing. It was a chick flick, an older chick flick. I really enjoyed it. I'd never seen it before, and I thought it was great. We then have Jurassic Park, which I've watched many a time, but I watched it again. It's just always going to go... Ooh, is it always going to go in best of the best? I think it's always going to go best in the best, not going to lie. Because it's one of the best films ever made. Oh, and then we go on to the next one. Oh, The Kissing Booth 3. This was bad. Like, I love a cheesy, romantic, chick flick type of film. I love that stuff. The first 2 were absolutely, like, I did enjoy them. Even though they were, like, not great, I still enjoyed them. But this one was 1, pointless, and 2, just bad. Just bad. And honestly, it deserves to go in Is a No from me simply for the wig. We then have Last Christmas, which I watched at Christmas time. I actually saw the ending coming. It was a little bit of a twist ending, but I did see it coming. It was fine. I wouldn't really necessarily say it's a good Christmas film. It's a bit sad. We then have Love and Monsters, which has Dylan O'Brien in it. So obviously I love it because I just love Dylan O'Brien. But this was actually very good. I'm going to put it in great films because even though I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it because I was watching it for Dylan O'Brien, this was so good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Oh, we have Luca. This is going straight up to the best of the best. This is one of my favourite films I watched this year. I absolutely loved it. I loved Luca. It was so feel good, so bright and colourful, and oh, I just loved it. Malcolm and Mari. Mari? Is that how you say it? I can't remember. I'm actually going to put this one in. It was fine. I didn't really get into it. I thought like the first hour and a little bit was good, and then it just got a little bit repetitive and I got a bit bored. Next up we have Moxie. Now this was actually a really, really good film. I'm going to put it in great. It's definitely near the higher end of that. It was so good. I don't know, there was just something about it. I just absolutely loved it. The vibe was great. Oh, Knight's Teeth. Oh, Knight's Teeth. This had Sydney Sweeney, Debbie Ryan, and Megan Fox in it. Therefore, I had to give it a go. And this I'm gonna have to put it there. It was really weird. It was about vampires and a human that didn't know. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what this film was actually about. We then have Promising Young Woman, which was, again, an incredible film this year. I think I'm going to put it in great films, although I absolutely loved it and I was tempted to put it in the best of the best. I don't think I loved it to that extent, but it was a very good film. So we've got A Quiet Place 2. This is just gonna go into great films because the first one is definitely in the best of the best. I thought the first one was so good. The second one was also very good, but was it really needed? Not particularly, but I still watched it and I still enjoyed it. It's just I'm not necessarily convinced that there needed to be a second one. Now we have 4 films in a row because as you see, this is what apparently I watched over Halloween. I watched Scream for the first time. Now, first of all, the first Scream is gonna go into the best of the best. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'd never seen it before. I don't know why. I hadn't seen it before, but I loved it. All the other ones are kind of going to go into, it was fine. When it comes to horror films like this, the first one is always the best one. Like, guaranteed, always the best one. The thing with Scream is it's not trying to be the best horror film in the world. It's meant to poke fun at other horror films, and I just thought it was great. I loved it. I watched it in a cinema. I got invited to go watch it, which I thought was so cool. And I thoroughly loved it. I loved it so much I came back home and watched it with my boyfriend. I convinced him to watch it with me. And then I watched all the other ones in the same weekend. So I'm all ready for the one that's coming out this year. When you're watching this, it'll probably already be out. So I'm ready. Oh, we have Spree. Oh, this has to go in great film. This was such a weird one. This was not a film I expected to really enjoy. It felt like one I was just going to put on and just laugh at, but I actually enjoyed this one. I haven't seen many people talk about it, but Spree is so funny. It's about a guy that streams being a taxi / Uber driver kind of thing, and he just kills people like live on stream to get views. And it sounds ridiculous because it is, but it's really good. If you want to laugh at something and you like a horror film kind of thing, you'll love it. You'll absolutely love it. We then have Spiral, which is the new Jigsaw film. No Jigsaw film or Saw film will ever beat the first Saw. Guaranteed, like, it never will, because the first Saw is just so clever and so good. I just think I've got a soft spot for Saw. It's my first ever horror film that I ever watched, and also when I was a scare actor, it was my maze. I was in the Saw maze. I can't justify putting it in great films. I just can't. So I'm going to put it in It's Fine, but it's at the very top of It Was Fine, you know? Tag. Oh my God, I forgot about this one. Like, completely forgot about this one. This has to go in perfect background viewing. It's a comedy about a bunch of lads. It's a true story, which I think is great, about a bunch of lads that do like this game of tag for years. So like they keep it going through years and years and years. We then have The First Time, which is another Dylan O'Brien film. I've watched this multiple times in my life and it's definitely a perfect background viewing film. I just love it and I love it. We then have The Girl Next Door. This was the very start of this year as well, but this is also perfect background viewing. It was another cheesy romantic comedy. Oh dear, Prom. That's just going straight in. It's a no from me. I honestly watched about half an hour of it and I couldn't watch any more of it. Like I said, I'm not a musical fan, so I already knew that going in, but no. Again, James Corden. Oh, we then have The Suicide Squad. This was the new one. I'm gonna put it in not my type but still good, because I did not enjoy the first Suicide Squad at all. I love Harley Quinn. I love the Harley Quinn film, everything like that. Suicide Squad, not a fan. And I mean, like, when I saw it in the cinema, I agreed that it was a good film and it was way better than the original one, but it's just not my type of thing to be like, I'm gonna rave about it. The Voyeurs. This has to go in the best of this year. I honestly have not seen enough people talk about this film. It's got Sydney Sweeney in it. This film was so good. It was like a thriller, and it's just not what you think this film is going to be at all. I started watching it expecting it to be like a romantic comedy kind of thing. I don't look into films before I watch them, I just put them on. I was thoroughly impressed with this. If you like a thriller, if you like even like a romantic thing, oh, it's just so good. I urge you to go watch it. It's on Prime Video. It's very, very good. We then have There's Someone Inside Your House. I'm going to put it in It Was Fine, because it was just fine. It was a horror film of a bunch of teenagers. Oh my god, I just remembered the ending. What a weird film. I'm just remembering it all. It's all just flooding back to me. It was very weird. We then have another Marvel film. We've got Thor, Ragnarok. You would think I would know how to say that by now, because I did watch the whole entire film. This is going into great films. I really, really enjoyed it. I love Thor. I think Thor is one of the best Marvel characters in my opinion. Till death. Oh, Megan Fox. Till Death was another thriller film of a girl being handcuffed to her husband while he's dead. It was kind of like a chase film. I don't know. It wasn't great, not gonna lie, but it was fine. We then have the to-do list. Oh my god. I'm gonna put it in perfect background viewing because it was a romantic comedy again, more so of a comedy, more so than the romance, but this was so good. This has Aubrey Plaza in it, which automatically means it's gonna be good. And last but not least, we have The Tomorrow War, which I'm gonna put in not my type, but still good, because like you all know, fighting and war films are not my cup of tea. However, I did really enjoy this. I thoroughly enjoyed this actually. And the story was interesting. It was really good. It wasn't too predictable. And just the whole thing was very, very good. I actually very much enjoyed it. But yeah, that is every single film, minus the ones that we did a whole movie commentary on this year, in a tier list. All finished. Obviously the ones at the very, very top are the best of the best that I watched this year, and you definitely need to check them out. And the same with the great films, but all in all, film-wise this year, it's been a pretty good year, I've got to say. I mean, there's been some that have not been very good, and I've been more impressed with the TV side of things more so than film, but then again, because of coronavirus, a lot of things got stopped in production or pushed back, so a lot of things weren't able to come out that was meant to come out, so I completely get that. Hopefully that means, fingers crossed, that this year is going to be even better. I mean, it's going to, and I'll tell you for one reason only. We're gonna have 2 Harry Styles films. Oh, 2! There's gonna be 2 Harry Styles films, My Policeman and Don't Worry Darling. I'm so excited for Don't Worry Darling because it's also got Florence Pugh in it, aka my biggest crush. And my other biggest crush, Harry Styles and Florence Pugh together. Oh, mate, if that comes out and you don't hear from me for a month, you know why I've died. There's some good films that are going to come out this year, and I'm very, very excited for it. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, because I will definitely do this next year if you would like me to, and obviously I do my monthly ones as well, so if you want to keep up with what I am watching, then make sure to hit the subscribe button. I've got loads more movie commentaries, I've got some other ideas in the pipeline for this year, and also make sure you follow my Twitch. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've had an amazing week. I hope you have another amazing week, and I will see you next time.